Hi everybody, I'm Tara, and I had a very severe laminectomy a little over a week ago, and I thought it would be helpful as I was learning a lot. There's not tons of stuff online about what it's like to go through one of these, so I thought I would try to make a video for people out there that are scared out of their freaking minds to get a laminectomy. A little background on me, I actually have genetic heart failure. So not only do I have this horrible sports injury, I had a lot of complications that made me not a great surgery candidate. So I was doubly scared to go through a lot of things at the hospital I was attending. Put off the surgery for a long time. My cardiologist, who I've had for a while, sort of advised that I should do everything but until it was absolutely impossible. So I did. I went through the gamut. I did physical therapy, did chiropractic, decompression therapy. I did floating, fascia work. I've got to be missing something. Acupuncture, did I say that already? I did a lot of hoping. I tried pushing through it by walking or doing things like that, and nothing worked, nothing. Oh, I also tried kind of laser therapy, where it gets into deep tissue to kind of alleviate nerve pain and fatigue for people that have sports injury like tennis elbow and things like that, but it was too much. So my original injury happened in 2013. It was a rugby injury that impacted my L4, L5, and then earlier this summer, it's now October 2017 that you're watching this. In April of 2017, I found out that I had what we thought was another herniation in my L5S1 that was 10 millimeters big. They started to advise surgery. I got it cleared. I got cleared for a discectomy, and ironically, when I got cleared for the discectomy overnight, I, in my sleep, hemorrhaged the 10 millimeter rupture to a 30 millimeter rupture. My body went into complete paralysis on the left side. I had to be carried out of my house by EMTs to a hospital, and they couldn't move me for an hour and 45 minutes without me going into like contortions on my left side. I had to be given a nasal relaxant and a nasal pain medication because they didn't have any needles, and in order just to get me on the stretcher to move me, or I would collapse into seizure and cramping. So it got to that point. I was really terrified when I got to the hospital, and I was told right away that I might have to get a fusion. So it had been elevated from a discectomy to a laminectomy to a fusion. It's hard for me to get cleared. For anyone that doesn't know anything about heart failure, for me, the scary thing is that I can't have fluid overload. My ejection fraction, if you're familiar with heart failure, is at 20. And it has been as low as 8% of the normal working person's heart. An average person is usually working somewhere between 65 and 85%. So giving me anesthesia is high risk, and I was more scared about the anesthesia than actually getting surgery of any kind. I was okay with that part. I mean, it wasn't going to be rad, but I was okay with that part, but was really super frightened about not waking up. And I'm speaking very frankly to you now, but it was hell. It was absolute hell to make the decisions that I had to make, but I couldn't even move. I was actually in the hospital about a week before the surgery could even be done to get cleared by the hospital. And my lovely partner and mom and family were there quite a bit to help me through a lot of bad stuff, including no use of my limbs. I couldn't leave my bed, so I had to have like a pad, basically, like where people could help me change. I couldn't even be elevated an inch because it would trigger the spasm or the contortions and paralysis on my left side again. This is like a serious injury. For anyone that's really scared about surgery, I get it. Without even my heart failure at the helm here, I know how scary it can be to be put in anesthesia or just to be kind of out of control of your own choices. And coming out of this hasn't been the easiest thing. But I will say this. From April to October of this year, I'm a performer. I actually perform for a living, so I'm very physically active, and that's part of my job. I teach and I perform on stages, and I had to use a walker. Oh, maybe I can show it to you. So I have a little. I have fruit on it right now, but this little walker right here. A rollator, as well as now I have like a silver walker, and that's more of like a thing that you would push around with like tennis balls in the front, but it has wheels in the front. So I have 2 walkers, and I had a cane all summer to get around from place to place through our international travels and through teaching in regular classes and performing. And it was hell. I have a fairly high pain tolerance. I'd say the lowest my pain was this summer from April to October was a 7 of 10. When I went to the hospital, I'd say it was at an actual 10. Truly a 10, not like, but I mean like a 10 where I thought maybe my heart would stop because of pain overload. It was really terrifying. The reason I'm making this video is that I just wanted to let you know how I came out of it. Maybe you're like me. Like if I have a headache, I'd rather kind of ride it out and drink some water than take some pills just to see what my body's capable of. I played sports and I'm gonna rub some dirt on it kind of gal. And this was not nope, nope. This was serious, and there was no help in it. So when we got to the final verdict of laminectomy was going to happen, I was really scared about the heart failure part and just, of course, surgery part. But I wanted to let you know this part. Though I tried to avoid surgery, and I think you should if you can, if you are at the laminectomy point, I wanted to give you good news that literally the moment I came out of surgery, literally the moment I was out of surgery, I could tell that my pain had subsided. The pain in my leg, I had basically like a knot in my glute, my piriformis, glute muscle, medius and max, all the way to my hip, all the way down my thigh, all the way down my outer calf, and all the way to my ankle that would just like grip up so tight that I couldn't walk. It was hunched over all summer. I can say immediately after surgery, it was from maybe a 9 to 10 down to a 4 or 5 right after surgery was over, meaning like all sciatic pain had dissipated. It blew my mind. I thought it was the drugs. I thought it was coming out of surgery for a day. It wasn't at all. It was truly like so much better. It was remarkable. It was almost like scary that it was better. Because feeling better after you don't feel good for a long time, it's alien, and it was really terrifying. It's been about, like I said, I think 9 days since surgery right now, and I'm actually sitting up to talk to you. I haven't been able to sit in a chair since April, so that's 6 months almost, because it was too sensitive to sit down. So I had to actually like squat in chairs or turn around backwards with my knees in the chair, including when I flew. So it was a real interesting summer. But this, I am now sitting on a bed talking to you. And yesterday with my family at a dinner, I sat in a chair at a table and we all like applauded and I cried. That's how bad it was. It was my first chair since April, now here in October. So I just wanted to let people know that anyone that's scared of surgery, I definitely think there's ways to try to find out if you're the person that can maybe avoid it. But man, if you're scared and you just need some reassurance that it might be an awesome thing for you, I'm going to keep updating and telling you how I feel, maybe week to week to kind of check in and let you know what the process is like, because I've already done it. So I might as well help people out, right? The first week I came out of laminectomy surgery, I was super duper stiff. My surgery scar is pretty sore, but it's like nothing in comparison to the actual pain that my body was feeling prior to being cut. I have some bruising and a significant scar in my back, but it's pretty cool if you're into that sort of thing. I'm like real badass. And it doesn't feel too bad. It just feels like a scar. I'm taking a lot of drugs. That sounds funny. I'm taking a lot of drugs, guys. But I do have like a battery of drugs in this bag right behind me. Valium, Percocet, or oxycodone. I have a thing called Senna, so that you can actually like go to the bathroom while you're taking all these things. I've been taking like 1/4 to half doses of everything. Gabapentin is the other thing. It's a nerve receptor blocker. For you to get used to it. So that it's been going like okay. Those things have been gabapentin I take every 8 hours. Percocet and Valium I take as needed for like pain. I think that they gave me like double doses, and I think I'm only taking again like 1/4 to half of doses, maybe every 4 to 6 hours or so. So not bad at all, and fairly lucid now and feeling more like myself. For the first couple of days, I just was a zombie and rode the wave by just being kind to myself and sort of watching a lot of binge TV and talking to friends that came to visit in the hospital, and getting my bearings as best I could. I just I'm so thankful. I don't have any words for how thankful I am. I really thought maybe the rest of my life was going to be really bad. And right now I'd say my pain level from my actual spine or injury itself, not scar related, is probably like a 3. It's nothing. The weirdest part of what I'm experiencing right now on day 10, day 9, day 10, is that my left leg, which is the one that was affected, does not feel right. And I'll try to report back on that when I update again. But unless I have a compression sock on, it feels like my leg is almost like limitless. It just feels really like tingly and weird, and like I don't know what the shape of my leg is. It feels like it's sort of like a boundless, strange, foreign body part. And they said that it may feel like that for a month. It may feel like that for a long time. Depends on how bad my nerve damage was. But a 30 millimeter rupture is fairly off the charts. My surgeon, who was awesome, said that when they explored the hemorrhage, that they got the main parts out, and then they couldn't believe how much more came out. If you're into that sort of thing, pretty gross. That they were basically kind of like threading the nerve to make sure that they had gotten most of the larger chunks of disc material out, and it just sort of kept coming, that there was more and more that was threaded through the nerves. So it was really bad. So I don't know what my leg's gonna feel like, and that has been the scariest thing. It's been very emotional. It makes you very emotional, just not knowing, you know, if you're gonna have like this phantom leg feeling for the rest of your life. But I will say, if you are in after surgery, compression socks all the way, man, because it'll make you feel like you are at least kind of like bound and safe. So that's my update for now. It's different to like hear how someone's feeling and see how they're doing. So if you have any questions at all, just say hello below, and I'll try to help out. I'm gonna start walking a little bit more, but I'm not supposed to do any PT exercises until I see my surgeon again in the 3 to 4 week mark. So that's another solid, you know, week and a half away. But maybe I'll kind of give you an update about how things are going when my drugs are slightly de-escalated, and I have a little more mobility. Sitting up is already like major win. I've been laying down until about 2 days ago. So this is a big deal. I hope you're doing well. I hope if you're scared that this gave you some comfort. Surgery for you, if you have to do it, will give you some alleviation of pain, because it's just no way to live. Back pain is an indescribable hell when it's reached a certain point, and if you're at that point, you definitely know it. So I wish you well. Thanks so much, and good luck. Bye, everybody.